My partner is a high school math teacher. He has been teaching now for a decade now and generally has been praised by students, parents, other teachers and admin for how he does his job. We have been together for 7 years. We got married in 2023. I have never worried about him being interested in his students. We have even talked about teacher/student relationships and he has never expressed anything other than disgust and how it's an abuse of power, even if the student is an adult, not to specific instances just movie instances and general topic discussion. He has never been called out for being inappropriate, that I know, never engaged with students over the weekend/summer, unless it's school related, but even then all contact is through school email or with parents. He generally refers to his students as his kids and actively keeps a distance from developing too close of a relationship, because he is young, attractive and other male teachers recommended he do so. Okay, here's what happened. Around March, we were at the movie theater one evening and I noticed a gaggle of girls staring and pointing. I notified my partner, assuming they were his students, and he told me I was right. We did not go over to say hi. We have seen his students before out and about and he says hi on a case-by-case basis but typically doesn't initiate, and they did not come to us. But, I noticed the rest of the girls playfully shoving one girl with lots of whispers, and the girl was staring at my husband sheepishly. I immediately thought she probably had a crush and honestly, thought nothing of it after until last weekend. We were celebrating Canada Day at a barbecue with family and my husband was pretty wasted. At one point, he went to the bathroom and didn't come back for so long I was worried he was getting sick, so I checked on him. When I knocked and said it was me, he said he was okay and would be right out but didn't unlock the door. He stayed in the bathroom for another /10 minutes. Super unusual for him but it could have been anything. Later that night, I woke up around 3 and he wasn't in bed. Worried again, I got up and found him on his phone in the living room. This is also unusual. When I asked what he was doing, he was definitely surprised and hit his phone screen. He said he couldn't sleep and didn't want to wake me up by watching videos next to me in bed. We both went back to sleep together. The next morning, he was hungover and slept in. I went through his phone. I have never not had a reason to trust him, so I have never gone through his phone. I found nothing of interest, except for the Snapchat app, which was not logged into. He used to use Snapchat but, from what I knew, hadn't in years. I honestly assumed nothing finding the app and figured I was reading too much into things. Last night, I saw a Snapchat notification pop up on his phone while we were watching TV. It was out of the corner of my eye but the logo is too recognition to mistake. My heart fucking dropped, because, knowing he was logged out last week means he is definitely using it secretly. I pretended like I didn't notice and a couple minutes later he got up to take a long poop. I cried while he was in the bathroom. Shortly after, I said I was going to bed early and he stayed up without me. He's on summer break. When I got up for work, he was still passed out. I went on his phone and found no Snapchat app. It was then that I knew something was shady for sure, and when I looked up Snapchat on the home screen, it was there, just hidden in a folder of apps disguised as cooking and workout apps. He had not logged out of Snapchat, and when I opened it, there was only one conversation with a real human and it was a girl. There was no evidence of conversation between them because, for those who don't know, Snapchat deletes previous messages for good. I was ready to confront him for cheating with basically zero evidence but decided to keep snooping for something concrete. In that same disguised folder, I found that he had OnlyFans downloaded. The only content creator he was subscribed to had the same username as the woman on Snapchat, but it's his fucking student. The one from the theater, who was blushing. I have never clocked a face so fast. I am 100% certain. We make fun of OnlyFans simps all the time, so I was already disgusted, but I actually threw up when I found this. I was scared I was going to wake him up and genuinely didn't know what to do, so I put his phone back and left for work. At work, I did some sleuthing and was able to find the girl's Instagram/Twitter accounts. She's 18 and from grad photos I can tell with certainty that she attended my husband's school. The same OnlyFans link was in her Twitter bio. He has texted me normally throughout the day and I have not responded to any but to tell him I have to go to my parents tonight, but in reality I am still at work because I don't know what to do. The reality is that this is fucked up, but she has graduated. Is this now just the same as any old affair? I don't even know if she was in any of his classes. I don't know what to think. I don't know what to do next. Lawyer? Should I ask my husband and see what he says? Should I ask her? Relevant comments. Comments BlueCat1011. This will not stay a secret for long. If the other students know, this will come out sooner or later. Someone will post something, her parents will find out, but eventually it comes out. Best to protect yourself and get your own legal advice as well as counseling. Your husband is not who you thought he was, and that's a really hard thing to accept, so take the time you need to figure that out. However, you don't know if this was the first time he did it or the first time he got caught. Either way, he should not be working in a school ever again and should be reported. AF_AF yeah, secrets lick. This don't stay hidden for very long in high school. The girl's friends know, so other people know, and the farther from that inner circle you get, the less people care about keeping anything hidden. His career is doomed. Mel221144. A teacher watching a student on OnlyFans is bad enough to leave. You don't need proof. Honestly I agree. Whether they have a physical relationship or not, he's viewing intimate material of his student and obviously conducting some sort of relationship with her. That's horrific behavior. I would certainly consider it infidelity, and even if they weren't in active communication, his desire to view a student in a sexual context would be enough for me to be done with the relationship. Even_budget 2078. Okay, so you saw her at the movies in March and her friends were definitely acting like something was up with her specifically? When does the school year end in Canada? Meaning, did she just graduate in May or June and would have been at the high school in March? You need to see a lawyer. Do not talk about this with your husband for now. Do not talk to her. Please don't do that. That is not a good idea at all. Are you considering divorce, or are you mainly concerned about ramifications to his job? I think you should talk to a lawyer about divorce, but that's me. For his job, this is up to you, and I will not judge you if you don't, but please consider telling the school. I'm sorry, but you now know your husband is a risk to his female students. I'm not saying it's a sure thing that he'll prey on another one. But, he is a risk, and I think you know this. So, if you know this, what is your obligation to girls at his school? Maybe just to add that it is not okay for teachers to groom students but not act on it until they leave. School here finishes end of June, but high school students are done earlier to complete exams, so mid-June. They graduate in May, as in celebrate and walk the stage, but return to school for exams. Divorce, for sure, unless I am mistaken. But, I am also trying to find any way that this could be acceptable or ignored, because I'm heartbroken. My heart is shattered. I know I have an obligation to protect his students, but am struggling to this of this man as the one I married. I can't even think straight. What kind of lawyer do I get? I've never had one before? Just divorce lawyer? Will they tell his school if I confide in them before I know the truth? Sale Blue, you have the girl's name? If so, I'd confront him by asking about her. I'd ask when did he first subscribe to her account, just casually. When he denies, I would ask if it was before or after they started snapping each other. Is it a paid subscription? Also, you can see when the app has been downloaded if on an iPhone you go to your apps in your settings. It will tell you the date of when the app was downloaded, even if it's since been deleted. Your husband is gross BTW. This is a reminder to all PPL that usually when someone is sue against something, there is a reason. The reason is often because they are attempting to cover up what they really think, etc., or because they believe if they show they are vehemently against it, PPL will think that's true. Just like PPL who cheat often would be the first to discuss how horrible cheating is. Yes, I know her name. Is there a chance that he is not engaging and just subscribed? A chance that he has her Snapchat but isn't talking? Is there a chance I'm wrong? Should I check when it was downloaded before I ask? If he downloaded it after the school year ended and has not been engaging, is this the same as porn? It feels worse. Blackcott Sneak Attack, honey, you know the answer. You just want to believe in who you thought he was so badly. Why do you think the girl was so blushy? She knew he was a subscriber. I know. But then I also think that I don't know without proof. Is what I have proof? We share a mortgage. And a cat. We have shared investments. We just passed our 1-year anniversary. I thought I knew him, and now I don't even know if I can go home. I don't know where to go. We've never so much as even had a fight where one of us sleeps at a friend's. If I go to my family or friends, they will press me and then I can't take anything back. Update 1. My post blew up and there were many updating comments, so I wanted to update. I read every single comment, but there was too much to reply to. To clarify some things, no, I didn't have pictures or screenshots of the Snapchats or OnlyFans. I was so upset I didn't even think about it until afterwards, and I thought there would be another chance to get them. I realized I fucked up. For some of my early comments, my brain was still reeling. I am 100% leaving my husband, to make it clear. It took me some time to come to terms with what was actually happening and the fact that I was in denial, but Reddit helped me get there, so thanks. The comments were about 50-50 split between talking to a lawyer or my husband first. The reality is that I didn't think I had anywhere else to go at the time, and I was so emotional last night and felt like I needed to know. I wanted to confront him and rip off the band-aid. He called me while I was still at work and I ended up telling him we needed to talk. He seemed thrown off by this and cancelled plans to stay in. I didn't get home for almost 3 hours after that, crying and deciding WTF to do. Ultimately I went home. If you're ever in the same position, don't do what I did. I wanted to follow the advice of many comments by basically saying I know about her, but I really wanted to get pictures of the evidence first, so I planned on playing it cool, saying never mind, all is okay, until we went to sleep and then sneaking back on his phone. I shouldn't have said anything on the phone, but my emotions got the better of me. But when I walked in the house, I immediately felt like he knew that I knew. He said what's up super standoffishly, just seemed off, and whatever I said on the phone must have tipped him off. Either that, or he was able to tell that I was on his phone in the morning somehow, pretending to be asleep? I'm not sure. So I couldn't control myself and got super emotional and confronted him on the spot. I asked if he had OnlyFans. It was the first thing out of my mouth, and he literally said no. What did you want to talk about? I told him I knew that he did and he denied. I told him I went on his phone this morning and scoffed and walked away. I followed him crying and screaming that I knew he had OnlyFans and Snapchat, that I was leaving him, and finally cried out something about cheating with his students. When I said that, he immediately turned around and asked what the fuck I was talking about. I told him that I knew about the girl, 18F, and his face genuinely turned into somebody I don't know. He immediately began yelling in my face that I don't know what I was talking about, how dare me accuse him of sleeping with his students, that I'm crazy and trying to ruin his life. I was screaming at him back. I told him to open his phone and prove it, and he laughed in my face about how stupid somebody would be to do what I'm accusing him of, and basically threw his phone at my face and said, "Knock yourself out." As people can probably guess, there was nothing. He definitely knew before I got home. He was logged out of Snapchat, and when I asked him to log in and stop lying, he logged into a different account and asked me if I would drop it now. The first one had just 18F and a few AI account things. This one had all his old college group chats and other people, including me. He gaslit me and swore he didn't have another account. He even suggested that I dreamt all of this. At one point he finally admitted that he subscribed to enough for a streamer during one of our intimacy lulls, but never a student, and he swore he lied because he loved me and doesn't engage in that kind of behavior anymore. It was just hours of lies and gaslighting. He said that he knew which student I was talking about, but that he's never spoken to her or taught her. He didn't recall the movie theater incident and accused me of imagining it too. He denied receiving a Snapchat at all a few nights ago when I first saw it. He denied acting shady the days before. He denied everything. I was absolutely disgusted by him the whole night. As the conversation went on, he started to talk about how he's going to get us marriage counseling, that my trust issues can be worked on, and he would leave teaching if it's what it took for me to stay, but never admitted to anything with a student. Admittedly, I was starting to get a bit of a gaslight fog about the situation, believing some of what he was saying, but when he volunteered to leave teaching, I knew it was worse than I knew. Because teaching is his everything, he gave up an amazing opportunity which would have made him 3-4x the money and way more recognition to teach, and has never complained about his job a day in his life. We both know he loves his job more than he loves me. If this was truly all a misunderstanding, or if it was a one-off with a graduated non-student, I just think he would do more to protect his job and his career. He wouldn't just leave over crazy behavior from me. That immediately told me everything I needed to know, that he was panicking on the inside about me leaving and me telling people. Maybe because more happened with 18F than what I know, maybe because he's done this before, I'm not sure. But he fucked up bad. It's so late, I was so exhausted, and I feigned agreement in working through it and told him I could move past it, but I was obviously lying. I need time to get shit in order. He is sleeping in the guest room tonight. I told him I would need a lot of space, and he said he was okay with that. He left his phone in our bedroom for the night as a peace offering. I hate his fucking guts. I have so many things on my mind right now. Hat the fuck to do, how to get a lawyer, if I should tell my family, if I should tell the school, the fact that I have no proof but I know what I saw. The fact that I'll be 33 and divorced. Above all, the fact that my husband may have slept with this girl, that's my gut telling me, because he kept repeating that he would never sleep with his students, over and over, when I was using words like cheat with, look at porn of, or sex with. So that's the update. I was gaslit and lied too. I got no sleep last night but still went to work this morning to get away from him. He hasn't texted me or called all day. I want nothing more than to go to the school with this info. My heartbreak is gone and I'm just angry and disgusted and want to right his wrongs, but I need him to admit to it so I can know how bad it is, and I don't think he will. I was thinking of telling him that I reached out to the girl, I'm not going to, and see if that freaks him out enough to come clean, but what if she doesn't know / he's using a fake account? Or just saying I have proof, even though I don't. Anybody have any good ideas? In the meantime, looking for divorce lawyer ASAP. Have no idea where to go from here besides start the divorce process. Edit, I am quickly edited to add, because so many people are saying I don't need proof to divorce, and I know that. I'm leaving him 100% regardless. But I really want some proof. I want to prove to him that he can't lie to me and get away with doing this. I also think most people in his life will not believe me without proof. I'm scared of my name being slandered and him getting off scot-free, or maybe even making me the bad guy for falsely accusing. I also want to know the extent because I need to know if he is sleeping with students or just being a creep. Now, second story, I won a contest to see Money in the Bank 2024, but because I'm in a wheelchair they cannot accommodate me. I was thrilled when I got a DM on July 2nd that I had won 2 tickets to say Money in the Bank at the Scotiabank Arena on July 6th. It must be noted that I am a left leg amputee in a power wheelchair. My wife and I scrambled around to find a way to Toronto on such short notice, but managed to find our local cab company with a wheelchair van that would bend over backwards to help us get there. Anyone who is in a wheelchair, or has limited mobility, will know that pre-planning is key when it comes to a successful outing. I let them know in my DM back that I am in a wheelchair, so accessible seating is needed. They assured me that they were contacting the vendor to get the appropriate seating and that they were excited about me going. My wife was worried as she looked at the seating that was left ticket-wise and saw it was a pretty slim amount of seating remaining. We were assured though that they were working on it. Today, July 3rd U/2 p.m. today I got an email from them saying that they were unable to secure accessible seating. I am absolutely devastated. To have such a cool experience offered to me was a true miracle. There is no way in my life that I would ever be able to afford to go myself, as I am on disability support. Disability supports are woefully inadequate, and I have been a disability and poverty advocate for the last several years. Since I lost my leg 7 years ago, I have not been able to afford to leave my city to travel very often, as a wheelchair van is super expensive. It was a real stretch to be able to afford to even get to money in the bank. My wife and I have been saving wheelchair taxi scripts, like half-price coupons that you can buy each month through our city, for years, and we're so happy that we figured out we had enough to go. They have offered me the rate of 2 tickets $300 as per their contest rules. But how can you replace an experience like this for a guy that cannot even dream to have an opportunity to see and experience a show like this and get to the city? It's like dangling something so fantastic in front of you, being just out of reach, and yanking it back at the very last minute. I think this was very poor planning on the contest runner's part. I am surprised that they would leave drawing the names of contest winners until 5 days before the event. Figuring out how to wrangle a trip is not easy for a lot of people these days, especially if you are disabled. This is Disability Pride Month, and I am a proud disabled person, but this makes me feel lesser than. I am so devastated. I fight so hard in my community to ensure that events are accessible to all. I'm on City Council Accessibility Advisory Committee. I speak regularly with local groups, organizations and schools about disability and Indigenous rights. This makes me so sad that nothing could be done because of their poor planning and lack of foresight. I have been an on and off fan of WWE since I was little and have been to a few house shows, even a network event in my manual wheelchair before I lost my leg. I was in such high spirits knowing that I was going to be able to see Cody Rhodes, Seth Rollins, Drew McIntyre, the women's division, and most of all Kevin Owens. I don't expect anything to happen from telling my story, but I had to tell someone or vent in some way. I feel excluded and defeated. Update 1. Local CTV news station contacted me and am being interviewed tomorrow. Link to my tweet. I wanted to say thank you to outpouring of love and support from everyone and everywhere. I am utterly humbled by your empathy and kindness. Whatever happens, happens, but I am blessed to have known such kindness for my situation. I've been told that some people in WWE have been contacted. So whatever happens, happens. If I don't get to go, then I hope this doesn't happen to anyone else. Like maybe people become more aware of accessibility and the like. It terrifies me that what if this had happened to a kid or something, right? I'm an adult and I can take bad news, but this struck home hard for some reason. I'm a spiritual person, and I want to thank you for the well wishes and thoughts tonight. It has been overwhelming, and I'm not afraid to admit, it has made me very emotional, and I've cried cause I don't know what to do with all these emotions. I'll update after I speak with the reporter tomorrow. WWE has contacted me directly and apologized profusely for what has happened. I am going to Money in the Bank with all my accessibility needs covered. This is a good ending. Whatever happens next is magical and unexpected. Thank all of you who posted and helped update too. Rody Rhodes just called me personally and we talked for like 5 minutes. The American Nightmare made a Canadian Dream 3. I do not deserve this. This is beyond words, and I am stunned by the scope. 3U/WWE gifted me this cool briefcase and replica belt and escorted me inside, and they were so kind and warm. I've done a few TV interviews and I hope I don't cry or something. I have met so many people from here and Twitter, and you guys are absolutely wonderful. Thank you for welcoming me into your space for this moment in time. This is unbelievable. Update 3. Tonight was astounding beyond words. I have met and interacted with so many of you from this subreddit. You were friendly, gracious and generous with your time. WWE went out of their way for me and treated me super well. My WWE rep went backstage and made sure I got Cody Rhodes' autograph. My view was amazing and I had so much fun. My voice is absolutely thrashed from cheering. I did not expect what I saw tonight. In conclusion, I hope things change for the better for accessibility where it possibly can. I'll continue to advocate and volunteer in my community and elsewhere to help things improve. Thank you for welcoming me into your space and being welcoming, kind and so friendly. Good luck, good fortune and good journey to all of you. Smile, be well. Thank you guys. 3. My hope is that this helps generate a further conversation regarding accessibility. Like a lot can be overcome by being mindful, having a plan and listening to the disabled community. I work with Guelph's Accessibility Advisory Committee and other groups here in the city, and I think it's getting better. Still a long way to go, but that's okay as long as we move forward. I'm glad this went so awesome and way better than expected, but I sincerely hope this is a teachable moment that can and will benefit everyone going forward. I know you didn't ask specifically, but Money in the Bank is one of the most fun nights of WWE Pro Wrestling. At the event, they hang a briefcase from the rafters and a bunch of wrestlers grab a bunch of ladders and create these incredible and violent tableaus, all trying to reach the briefcase first. Inside the briefcase is a contract that the briefcase winner can use to wrestle any champion at any time to try and win the championship from them, as long as there's a ref to approve it. You can even use the contract after the champion has wrestled a whole match and are absolutely exhausted. It's the perfect narrative Molotov cocktail. Wrestlers can have the briefcase and contract for up to a calendar year before they have to use it. Anyway, it's not WrestleMania, the biggest, nor the Royal Rumble, my personal favorite, but it's pretty dang fun and definitely one of the top WWE events. Cody Rhodes is the current WWE champion after a grueling 2 years of wrestling and storytelling, and he is exactly the kind of person they advertise as a genuinely good dude. Kids dress up like him all the time. He meets with fans in the audience for a long time after shows. So I'm happy it seems like here he did a good thing and that his wrestling persona seems to be based in something real.